What's going on, Consciouztv, your favorite breakdown commentator? Welcome to another riveting episode of the Consciouztv platform. I told you guys we on that bike. The content is content. It's a lot going on. Because I done ran down on my notifications, girl, we need all the likes. YouTube ain't messing with it. They only give you 3 rounds of notifications within each 24-hour period. So I'm definitely done exceeded my notifications. So the only reason Consciouztv gonna get up in her at this point is by you guys running the likes up. So I need likes from the replay gang, Bush babies, and folk who active with me in real time on these streets. Y'all gotta run the likes up. We got breaking news. It's a lot going on. Before we get into the thick of it, please go ahead also and make sure that your notification bell is set to all so that you don't never miss a day or hour when the King is in fact Kangin. Shout out to the 53.4 subbies. We are growing because people make the dream work. If you guys enjoy all of the workings of the King, baby, you can donate to the platform at Consciouztv on Cash App and or PayPal.me/Consciouztv. Make sure that you have your notification bell set to all. And last but not least, please share the stream out to wherever it is you have digital community, whether that be a YouTube community wall, your Snapchat, your MySpace, the dark side of Twitter, Tumblr, or your personal OF. I don't really give a damn where you in fact live the lane. Just let them whores know that we're loud, we're live, and we're certainly in color. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and push on through.
I know a place where you can recharge your soul.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
And in the midst of brokenness, he gon' see your asshole.
Baby, that's Consciouztv.
You gon' heal, you gon' laugh and catch a little shade.
Ooh, girl.
Y'all know he be slaying, y'all better stop playing. Come hear what he's saying.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Woo, baby, I ain't worked like this since I was in my past life. Jesus Christ. It's a lot going on. So you guys, breaking news. Tory Lanez, of course, has been so-called fighting for his life and his anal virginity ever since his ass got indicted and ultimately charged for popping Megan Thee Stallion. He's serving, what, a 7 to 10 year bid and will be deported to the slums and ghettos and the hilltops of Canada upon his release and forever banned from the U.S. All right. Now, Tory Lanez has been in a lot of headlines this week. It's a lot going on, girl. I mean, it's a mess. He done been stabbed 14 times. He was on a ventilator, a respirator. He's doing all right now. The stabbing is unrelated to Megan Thee Stallion. Allegedly, it's over some race gang ties in prison. Apparently, he was stabbed over acting like he was a goddamn kingpin up in the prison. You guys know he ain't nothing but 2 feet 11. But, you know, he walk around with a big man complex. And now he actually in the big pen with actual kingpins, baby. So they brought his ass down to size and got him up out of there and humbled his ass. He has already said that what happened to him is not related to Megan Thee Stallion. What the fuck soever. And will he be coming out of prison looking like Michael Jackson when it's all said and done? I don't damn know, child. Okay, how much damage was done to his face? I don't know, girl. He got shanked up all in his body, all in his back, all in his ass, all in his nose, all in his eyes, all in his face, all in his wig, girl. Just got towed up like he just came out of a nightmare on Am Street with Freddy Krueger, his motherfucking self, bitch, okay? Tory around there trolling them niggas, and them niggas trolled his ass right into the damn urgent care on the medical ward of the prison facility. My God, today. But that ain't all that's taking place. There is apparently, quote unquote, new evidence that's going to be presented by the sorry ass team of lawyers that couldn't even get Tory Lanez free the first goddamn time, who couldn't do nothing about them damn appeals and who can't do a goddamn thing for Fraud Radio either, who over there suffering and broke and crying aloud because DJ Academics won't donate at least a $5 Little Caesar pizza to her motherfucking ass, baby, as she gets drowned out and ran down on by Megan the damn Stallion, girl. There is an alleged bodyguard who is claiming that KELSEY was the one who allegedly popped Megan the Stallion and not Tory Lanez. So this new incompetent or old incompetent panel of attorneys are going to be attempting to get Tory ass a retrial, a mistrial that will ultimately result in his freedom, and Kelsey Harris ass entering into the women's penitentiary to be a lesbian for the next 10 years in his damn place. So Kelsey Harris, girl, come to find out, your ass about to be towed up by them butch lesbians down there at the goddamn woman's facility, baby, because y'all know that the initial game plan when they was gearing up for trial was that Tory Lanez team was going to try to pin the shit on Kelsey out of the gate. But because Kelsey successfully had pussy popped on a handstand, her ass was able to alley-oop and land perfectly in the middle, you know, getting her up off of the targeting eye of Tory's team, girl. But they were gearing up, baby, to tell her ass up. Remember, his team was releasing, you know, all this information that GUN powder was on her persons, and you know, it was woman DNA on the GUN, and this, that, and the third, girl. I mean, they was gearing up, baby, to sell her ass down a Mississippi damn river where they not done yet, girl. So I don't know whether Kelsey Harris is somewhere getting 504, you know, to you know what? Now that I think about it, baby, dun plot twist, bitch. What if it was Kelsey Harris, girl, who allegedly put the hit out on Tory Lanez, girl? Maybe Kelsey ass got word, bitch, that Tory was about to throw her ass under the bus, girl, and attempt to pin this ootin' on her ass. So her nigga, who's connected to 504 and Prince and them down there to the Texas, girl, the Texan Houston mob down there, girl, put a hit out on his motherfucking ass, girl, and try to get his ass taken the fuck up out of her, girl, okay? Before the head mafia wife in charge, girl, okay, had to go down for this goofy ass crime that I 100% believe that Tory Lanez ass was successfully convicted of, because his ass factually damn did it, girl. What if Kelsey Harris ass is the one who put the hit out on his ass to prevent what the fuck they trying to arouse right now? Well, there was a press conference held earlier today. Let's check out this press conference. We're going to check out a previous interview with Kelsey about that infamous night. I'm going to be dropping the link in case you guys want to pop off, get into my thoughts, and then we'll round this thing up, girl. So let me go over to an old nasty piece. And everything I just said, child, of course, was allegedly. Okay, this is only hypothesis, child. This is only hyperbole. It's only rhetoric, child. Okay? Let me share my motherfucking screen, girl. Baby, did I tell y'all in the last line, I said, girl, everybody asked in court, DDG, Haley, Megan, Fraud Radio, Tory, and Kelsey and Megan, TD Jakes, Dwayne Youngblood, Cassie, and the whole goddamn West Coast versus Diddy. Baby, everybody want a court date. You get 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 an indictment. You get a mugshot, girl. I'm starting to think that niggas want to go to jail at this damn point. My God.
Good morning. We are here today to bring to your attention some information Unite the People believes is exculpatory for Mr. Daystar Peterson's case, professionally known as Tory Lanez. Recently, we've been made aware that a member of the media, Mr. Gianno Caldwell, was working on an op-ed for the New York Post regarding Mr. Peterson's innocence. During his work on that op-ed, he became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon, Megan Pete and her representatives, and Kelsey Harris and her representatives. The only party that responded this last week was Megan Pete's representatives with a request for more information. A few days later, Mr. Peterson's brutally attacked in his jail cell. Unite the People represents Daystar Peterson in his appellate process. We filed an appellate brief and a writ of habeas corpus on his behalf. The district attorney's office has already responded. The case is fully briefed. We're just waiting for the appellate court's decision. We were willing to wait for the appellate process to play out, but given that brutal, unprovoked attack, we felt it necessary to come here today to provide you with this information. It is our intention to make a request to the governor to either pardon or commute the sentence of Mr. Peterson, so that when he recovers from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover.
You're bad.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got shake video masks.
Girl, in Taurus' wildest dreams.
Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such,
Okay, so this new person is a bodyguard and personal driver for Kelsey, y'all.
from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. Kelsey Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun.
Girl, this is the largest reach that is almost embarrassing. It's almost embarrassing. So you think that pure hearsay about a trial Tory Lanez has already been convicted in because prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt based upon 3 people that bear witness along with corroborating evidence. Sean Kelly, the neighbor who saw Tory pop Megan, who was a non-biased witness, didn't know any parties, and bear witness to this whole thing from his balcony. Kelsey Harris interview, along with Megan's own bodyguard, who said that Tory apologized to him for popping Meg when he came to the house to pick up Meg's stuff from Tory's apartment, to Megan herself also bearing witness to the fact that Tory is the only one apologizing to Meg that night, as we heard from the jail call between him and Kelsey, to him also on social media clearing Kelsey of popping Meg. And then he had the audacity, with all that had missed him, to not even take the stand and say who did do it if he didn't. And y'all are going to try to bring pure hearsay, 2 years after the fact, talking about some random nigga who used to bodyguard and who used to be a driver. And I assume this is past tense, so for all I know, this is the damn disgruntled employee who was just ready to get his 15 minutes, ready to shake some shit up, done been fired under this high ass Trump economist country. Can't afford eggs, milk, or cookies, and is just wanting to get on Kelsey's bad side by claiming that he overheard Kelsey having a conversation with her 504 ass husband about having a gun and ooting it 3 times, which still doesn't imply, even if that's the case, that she per se was shooting at Meg. She didn't pop Meg, even according to this person, because according to the lawyers, the gun dropped. So the gun dropped and then malfunctioned and shot off 2 rounds. Girl, miss me with the bullshit. Miss me with the bullshit. Oh, so neither Kelsey nor Tory shot Meg. The gun just, ended up out of both of their hands as a result of Tory intervening, and the gun successfully landed and pointed right at Megan and popped Megan twice. The gun malfunctioned, let off 2 rounds, and then ironically in the direct trajectory of Meg, all by accident. Can't you see, Judge? How natural of a circumstance that is. Girl, I feel completely insulted. I feel insulted. Are you... Unite the People ain't got enough yet. Y'all getting y'all ass towed up in this lawsuit with Megan and Cyberstalker. You got your ass towed up 3 times fucking with Tory ass with these appeals. Y'all ain't tired yet, bitch, of just taking the L. You ain't tired. You're not tired at all. You're just not gonna be tired, baby. Has Megan Thee Stallion stumped y'all asses out that bad, girl, that y'all just can't, y'all refuse to keep getting up, girl? Because the narcissism of it all is just not gonna let y'all humbly take the multiple ass whippings. You're just not gonna finally go to sleep. You're just not gonna do that. Even after Tory just embarrassed the living shit out of Unite the People in his own deposition in the cyberstalking case. Unite the People told him, nigga, leave us out the group chat, bitch. You done showed your ass, and we don't give a damn how Meg's attorneys and Rock Nation now turn your ass every which way but loose because you done got on our last motherfucking nerve, girl. And here it is, child. Unite the People said, bitch, we gonna get a win somewhere, bitch. Somebody gonna give us a motherfucking win. Somebody got to cough up a win, girl. We ain't taking this many rounds of an ass whipping, bitch. We gotta get this bitch at least once, girl. Let us hit her once, bitch. Bodyguards, don't intervene at least for 5 seconds, girl. Let us get 1 lick in. Can we at least paint the bitch? Girl, y'all gonna have to let us at least paint you. What is the tea? Girl, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. This is what they gonna present to a judge. That Tory wrestled the gun from Kelsey, the initial aggressor, and the gun magically failed, malfunctioned, and launched off 2 rounds that ironically successfully was in the complete direction of Meg and popped her. While on the other hand, y'all arguing that his DNA was never on the gun. So which one is it? How he successfully wrestled the gun from Kelsey, but then also had 0 contact with the motherfucking gun. Make it make sense. Let me rewind this bite one more time, y'all.
I often joke that I'm retired.
Child, these people done lost their goddamn mind. Girl, y'all just not gonna even try to bring a convincing case. And then 2 years later, girl, what y'all think this is? A Martin Lawrence season 6 reunion, bitch? Who asked for a second season? For season 2, girl, of the Tory Lanez trial?
Was last week was Megan Pete's representative or confidentiality agreement and was free to make a request to the governor. He became aware of some information in Unite the People's possession regarding a statement that was given to Unite the People by someone with information relevant to that case. The New York Post recently reached out to the prior district attorney, George Gascon. Megan Pete, from this attack, he's not returned to a jail cell, but that he's allowed to go home and recover. Not long ago, Unite the People was approached by a gentleman named Bradley James. Mr. James informed us he was working as the bodyguard and driver for Ms. KELSEY Harris during Mr. Peterson's trial. As such, he was in close proximity and he had privy to conversations she was having with her husband and others. Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Ms. Harris was sitting. This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Ms. Pete, did not shoot at Ms. Pete, or did not assault Ms. Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example, there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Ms. Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken?
Because Tory Lanez took responsibility for the GUN, dummy. That's why.
Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that. Anybody who's there, DNA is taken.
They also didn't need his fingerprints to convict him. They had multiple eyewitnesses. He took responsibility for the gun. They found the GUN on his persons under his seat. He had already had a previous charge, a weapon charge. And everybody put the GUN in his hands. Okay? And let's be clear about the GUN. His fingerprints were not on the cachet of the weapon. But on the weapon itself, his DNA just could not be exclusively identified because there were multiple conflicting strands of DNA on the GUN, which means that the GUN did come into contact with multiple hands. Who knows? It had to make it from wherever it was into the car. So it could have been the driver who initially put the GUN in the car. It could have been Tory, who also eventually touched the GUN when their ass all got back in the car, since Sirens were going off. People were calling police. Neighborhood lights were coming on. When the driver was driving fucking crazy with Megan and Kelsey being in the back seat, hell, they could have came in contact with the GUN as well. Now, Kelsey admitted she came in contact with the GUN because she actually fought with Tory over the GUN. She stepped out of the car because she believed that Tory was going to actually unalive Megan. The driver had to come and break that altercation up, and that's when she ended up getting the hell beat out of her. So she admits she came into contact with the GUN. The witnesses placed the GUN in Tory's hands. And since the driver had to come and break all this up, he might have came into contact with the damn GUN, trying to reach for it as well to make sure that nobody pulled the damn trigger on it. So there were so many strands of DNA on the GUN that they could not exclusively identify any one person. Since Kelsey had an altercation with Tory over the GUN, female DNA was definitely going to be found on the GUN.
Regularity. Why, at Ms. Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member, record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do.
It's also ironic that Tory Lanez gets stabbed the fuck up in prison, and now his lawyers are coming with this random weak-ass argument that some random person claiming to be a bodyguard worker of Kelsey overheard a conversation of her talking about having a gun, even though doesn't state that Kelsey shot her either, but that the gun just magically shot Meg on its own. I would not be surprised if the reality is Tory Lanez now done got on the prisoner's bad side, since now it's come out that because, matter of fact, hold on. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all. They already got an open investigation on the stabbing. The prisoner who stabbed old boy he's already serving a life sentence on a capital murder charge. And this whole ordeal was over race, and Tory has already cleared it being unrelated to Meg. Hold on, let me find it. Let me find the post, child. I know we got a lot going. We got a lot going on. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Run those likes up, y'all. Run those likes all the way up, honey. Run it all the way up. Okay. Boom. Oop, prisoner who allegedly stabbed Tory is serving a life sentence for murder. This isn't his first time attacking another prisoner. Looks like the man who allegedly stabbed Tory isn't a stranger to attacking his bunker buddies. According to reports, he's serving a life sentence for murder. It's no telling what motivated the attack, but it has come out that it's race related. Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times, including 7 wounds to his back, 4 to his torso, 2 to the back of his head, and 1 to the left side of his face. Both of his lungs collapsed, and he was placed on a breathing apparatus. He is now breathing on his own despite being in pain. He is talking normally, in good spirits, and deeply thankful to God that he is pulling through. He also wants to thank everyone for their continued prayers. So this is what I actually think is really going on. Tory now done fucked around with them people. Anybody who's been in prison, or if you got relatives in prison, will tell you, girl, that prison is very segregated. It's very race segregated. The whites hang with the whites, the blacks hang with the blacks, the Mexicans hang with the Mexicanos. There's no interracial bleeding over, etc. There's all this gatekeeping going on, and that you can seriously get your ass fucked up by just, you know, conversating with the other side, baby. He done got up in there thinking his celebrity, you know, puts him at the top of the pyramid, and he done fucked around and been humble and found the fuck out. And the reality is Tory Lanez is now officially scared for his motherfucking life. And I believe that Tory Lanez got on the phone immediately with his attorneys and pretty much pleaded with them that they have to get his ass out of here, because he may not live to see another day. He may not make it to 2026. Now that his ass done been shanked up, stabbed up, bitch, and he got 57 million damn golf holes in his ass, baby, he immediately got on the phone with his attorneys and said, look, bitch, y'all gonna have to crack the case. Y'all gonna have to go find something. Y'all gonna have to go pull on something. Y'all gonna have to go try the courts. I don't give a fuck what y'all come up with. Y'all gotta get me up out of this motherfucking place. I'm going to die in here. I'm going to die. And then ironically, just 2-3 days later, all of a sudden we got random new evidence that we done thrown together, baby. In an attempt to get Tory Lanez out of prison, he done sat on them phone and told them lawyers he gonna pay them everything they need to be paid. They can double the tab, quadruple the trap. He'll sell his mama. He'll put his daddy up for auction, baby. He don't give a damn. He'll get them their coin. Just get him the fuck up out of there. And now all of a sudden we got a press conference. The same week he gets stabbed, and all of a sudden new evidence, bitch. This is the result of Tory running to that goddamn commissary phone, running to that damn JPay machine, running to that goddamn payphone girl in the hallway, and running down on his motherfucking attorneys, bitch. Tory Lanez probably was out of his mind and hysterical on that phone, like, bitch, I will have y'all asses assassinated, bitch. Y'all know I got the connections to do it. Get me the fuck up out of here. Bitch, I look like a disassembled ass IKEA table in this motherfucker, girl. Get me the fuck up out of her. I'm walking around this bitch like chopped liver at this point, like sliced cheese, girl. There ain't no way in hell. The same week he comes this close to death, girl, and now officially realizes just how dangerous of a situation he in. And then look at the headline for this post. Look at the headline for it. The person who attacked him may not honestly have even had a motherfucking motive. That makes Tory Lanez ass even more afraid, because literally he now fully realizes he's around some of the most unhinged, dangerous, unpredictable motherfucking criminals in the United States, and that it don't even take a motive of substance for his ass to end up in a near-death experience. So Tory Lanez, bona fide fear girl, is through the motherfucking roof right now. And after this harrowing ordeal, girl, on a breathing apparatus, after being chopped up like lunch meat, 3 days later, girl, we get an emergency press conference, girl. We get an emergency hearing, girl. Okay, we get some random key evidence that's still weak as hell in nature, and it's pure hearsay. Because, girl, like the lawyer just said, we're trying to make sure, girl, he don't even have to go back to the commons area. He ain't even got to go back, girl, to the dorm, honey. We try to get his ass from the medical center of the prison, girl, straight to the front living room. Yeah. That's what this is about, my God, today. That's what this is about. That stabbing got that bitch shook, girl. He officially got to go. Tory got to go now, girl. At first, he was going to try to make his bed and get comfortable, girl, record his little albums on the payphone, girl. You know, he hadn't got real comfortable, real full of himself, girl, thinking that he had that shit down there on lock. You know, thinking that he had all his squares tucked away, girl. He had some prison immunity. And now he done fucked around and got slit up, girl. Got stabbed up, girl. Got punched down on, girl. 14 motherfucking times, bitch. Do you know how traumatizing that is? 14 different stab wounds, girl, all in one setting. They had to hook that bitch up to a wall socket, girl. They had to plug his ass up like an iPhone charger. Girl, that man carved his ass into a USB cord, girl. And they had to plug his motherfucking ass up to charge him, girl. Okay? And now, 3 days motherfucking later, girl, breaking news, press conference. Tory got to get out. New key evidence, girl. We about to beg for pardons. Right, girl. Right. Yeah, y'all better go run his ass up out of there. Y'all better, girl, just start. Baby, y'all ain't got nothing to lose at this point, girl. Y'all done dried up all the appeals, so I don't even know. Oh, okay, so they can't even go for a retrial, girl. That's why they got to go straight to the governor's office, girl. We got to go, girl. The courts are done. The appellate courts are done with us, girl. We done exhausted our appeals, girl, so they can't even go to the courts. They got to go to the mayor, girl. Yeah, see how well that works out. That an entire mayor who is dwelling over one of the most criminally charged states in the country, which is LA. Big gang crime. Big GUN legislations. And imagine thinking that hearsay by some third party about an alleged conversation they overheard is going to move the needle, girl, to a pardon, girl. Imagine. The governor, the mayor, whomever the fuck, baby. Neither. Because they're going to have to go up and down, girl. They're going to have to go from the governor. They're going to have to go to the mayor. They're going to have to go to the senator. They're going to have to go to the Social Security building, girl. They're going to have to go down there to the welfare office, girl. They're going to have to go from the tip of the top to the bottom, girl. Okay? You exhausted all your goddamn appeals in the appellate, girl. You're going to have to exhaust all the motherfucking appeals, too. Everywhere else. At some point, girl, his attorneys are going to have to be reduced to just, girl, helping him to plan his goddamn escape. They gonna have to just illegally get his ass out of prison themselves, shy. You get stabbed the fuck up, girl, and now all of a sudden there's an emergency hearing to get your ass out, girl, and to ask the governor for a pardon. Right. Y'all see that? Y'all see it? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can find that post about it allegedly being about race. Okay, Chris Brown, sorry ass, who gonna be the next one joining Tory ass talking about free Tory. Abuser for abuser, girl. Is this it? Okay, never before seen evidence concerning his ooting. Right. Let me see if I can find that post. Is this the post? Nope, that's the one I got up now. Let me see. It's another post about Tory Lanez clearing the Megan Thee Stallion connection. Okay, let me see here. see her. It might be on another blog that I saw it. Hold on, let me see something. Hold on, y'all. Y'all run them likes up, girl. Come on. Okay, hold on. Let me see. He breaks his silence. Tory Lanez suffered 7. Despite being in pain, he's talking normally despite thing for the gun. The attack reportedly occurred on Monday, and now we got an emergency hearing Wednesday, girl. On period. On period. Okay, here it is. More information. There were mixed reactions. I know that's from somebody else. I would not give all kinds. Okay, yeah, but I just saw a post somewhere of Tory also clearing the fact that this is not connected to motherfucking Megan. Even though you're not the people trying to allude to a connection, girl, there's more of a connection between his ass being scared and threatening y'all by force, girl, and coercion to get his motherfucking ass out of this prison system as a result, girl, of him sitting down there with 17 new organs, girl. 17 new goddamn transplants. Girl, they had to put a closure piece on every single hole. Oh, yes, they did. Okay, hold on. I'm getting some breaking news right now. Let me see what this is, y'all. Hold on. Oh, yeah. We're already looking at that. Okay, so let's get back to the press conference, child. These people getting on my last nervous system, child. I can't believe it. I here playing on my head top, girl. Talking about, oh, girl, we got new evidence. Some random ass nigga claiming he overheard a conversation of Kelsey admitting that she was ooting the gun, and then Tory wrestled it from her, and the gun successfully fell, and it dislodged 2 bullets all by itself, hurting, leading to the injury of Megan Thee Stallion. Right, girl. What a perfect scenario set to clear up nothing and get everybody ass off. What a perfect situation, girl, that gets everybody ass off. Well, technically, Kelsey didn't shoot her, and technically, Tory didn't shoot her. The gun shot her. Apollo, get away from me with this. Get away from me with this.
Did not shoot Miss Pete and others. Mr. Peterson, I'm sorry, Mr. James informed us he was not under a non-disclosure agreement or a confidentiality agreement and was free to speak with Unite the People, and that he was doing it because his conscience would not let him not speak and leave a man in prison for something he did not do. Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was a witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had, where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. Mr. Peterson grabbed her arm and knocked it down, and the gun fired 2 more times. In essence, Mr. Peterson never shot anybody, never even touched that gun, never fired the gun. This statement aligns with the statement of the only non-party witness to the case, Mr. Sean Kelly, who at trial testified he saw 2 women fighting, 2 men break up the fight, 1 man grabbed the other one's arm. Gunshots came from the passenger side. Passenger side is where Miss Harris was sitting.
Oh, add the other piece to that. The passenger side was where Miss Harris was sitting, but who he saw exiting the vehicle with the GUN extended toward Megan as fireworks went off in front of the GUN was your client, Tory Lanez, girl. Don't clip the alley-oop. Okay? See, girl, it's the bitchcraft and the manipulation for me, girl. Tell the entire narrative, girl. Don't get to Adobe editing, girl. The T. The rest of that statement is Sean Kelly from his balcony saw Tory Lanez exit the vehicle with his arm extended with flashes of light, popping off back to back to back to back to back, resulting in a woman falling to the ground in her own blood. And he was y'all's Tory Lanez star witness. That was the ultimate karma and gag of it all, girl. I almost slid down the damn wall. Sean Kelly wasn't even a witness for prosecution. He was y'all's witness. Baby, Sean Kelly had done woke up after them niggas had done traumatized him with all that badass hip-hop blasting from them damn speakers, girl. He ain't never heard that much nigga music in his damn life, girl. After he had done got him a good, healthy 8 hours of sleep, after y'all had done interrupted his good sleep on his arthritis mattress, girl. On his sleep apnea machine, girl, his sleep apnea sleep was disrupted by all the ligament going on the inside, girl. So that man had to woke up, girl, and got his ass a good 8 hours, baby. Oh, baby, that brain was braining, girl. Y'all thought he was about to come down there and put a banana peel in front of Miss Megan, girl. He came down there and put a banana peel right in front of Tory Lanez's wig, girl. And now he down there bald-headed and all, girl. Bald-headed and all down there. And he was y'all's witness. Y'all's witness. Y'all witness sent your client directly to jail, bitch. Shout out to Sean Kelly, girl, a non-biased partner, a non-biased witness to Tory Lanez's defense, who fucked around and told the motherfucking truth, for God help him, please. And then twirled his ass out there on his motherfucking electric scooter, girl. They said Sean Kelly came pooching through, girl, in a whole electric scooter, girl. Came down there and told the truth and then peeled the fuck off, girl, in his scooter. Girl, just epicness everywhere. And now y'all gotta go to the governor. My God, today.
This further iterates that Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case. For example,
the only thing that's irregular, for example, is your client not taking a stand and saying who did it, girl. Maybe that would have changed the whole game. What's irregular, girl, is y'all allowing 3 people to put that GUN in Tory Lanez's hand, and Tory Lanez refusing to get up there and put that GUN wherever the hell it allegedly belonged. And you know why he didn't, girl? Because they had put it exactly where the hell it had been the whole time, in his goddamn hands. That's what's irregular. What's irregular, girl, is that the man is fighting more from prison than his ass did during trial, after letting 3 different motherfucking people put that gun in his hand, including his own motherfucking witness, bitch. And you think I would have jumped my ass up there, girl, and broke street code and every damn thing else? And then if he in prison, girl, for something he didn't even do, why the fuck he on the phone with the bitch who apparently did do it, apologizing? Make it make sense. That's what's irregular. What's irregular is that he down there from prison, allegedly, according to y'all, for something he didn't even do, yet he the one profusely apologizing to the bitch who did pop her. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's what's irregular as hell.
there were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr.
And the gag about it is that the motherfucker still refused to put the GUN in somebody's hand. Because he know he can't. Tory Lanez know he did it. That's and there's nothing that's going to be able to make nothing make sense. So he can't put it in nobody's hands All he can do is try to create this ambiguity. Well, my fingerprints weren't on the cachet, and there was too much DNA on the handle of the GUN for my DNA to be exclusively identified. I already done cleared Kelsey ass to Uda on social media. Meg already cleared Kelsey as the Uda. My own witness done identified me as the motherfucking Uda. I'm the one in this whole situation who got a track record, girl, for being an abuser. I was already on a form of probation for similar charges. The GUN was found on my persons. And even with all that, 2 years later, he still refuses to put the GUN directly in somebody else's hands, because the only option he has is to just create ambiguity. I just didn't do it, y'all. I just didn't do it, y'all. I just didn't do it, y'all. Baby, that didn't even work during trial. How much more is it going to work now, my love? And we're going to get to the stepping in glass shit. We're going to get to all that.
Unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken? Or was it taken and the information simply never given to the defense? Why wasn't the driver of the car, Mr. Jaquan Smith's DNA taken? Or was it taken and again, simply not given to the defense? We don't know. It should have been taken. It is Unite the People's understanding, regular LAPD practice at a crime scene like that. Anybody who's there, DNA is taken.
Are you really going to miss this?
We do this training once a year. There's 800,000 to a
Thumbs
million.
up, thumbs up, thumbs up. There they are.
Another irregularity. Why, at Miss Harris's police interview, was a non-lawyer, non-family member, record company executive allowed to participate? Highly irregular situation. Normally, we see cases, strangers are not allowed in these things, but it was in this case. All of these things point to the highly irregular nature of his trial and his conviction. It is our contention that he was wrongly convicted. And while we at first were willing to let the process play out, it is our contention now that if he is not pardoned or released promptly, he may never come out. And that would be the ultimate injustice, is that he gets killed in prison for something he did not do.
I told y'all, look at how the lawyer is giving away the plot. Killed in prison. Not that he will do time in prison for something he didn't do. He will be killed in prison for something he didn't do, girl. Tory Lanez got on that goddamn call, baby, and started threatening motherfuckers' lives, bitch. Bitch, I'll off your children. I'll off your wife. I'll off your grandparents, bitch. I'll off the dog, girl. I'll have my niggas run up there and tear all y'all shit up, bitch. You better get me up out of her.
This time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Gianno Caldwell, a media member who was working on that op-ed for the New York Post. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. Good morning. Thank you for coming today. My name is Gianno Caldwell. That is spelled Gianno, Caldwell, Caldwell. I am the founder of the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety, the caldwellinstitute.org. I am also a member of the press for almost a decade now. I've been looking into Daystar Peterson's case for almost 6 months now, professionally known as Tory Lanez. And after reviewing the evidence, the reporting, and the legal analysis, I've come to the conclusion that Tory Lanez was railroaded by the former district attorney, George Gascon. He was also wrongly convicted. I believe if Jesus Christ was Tory Lanez's attorney, George Gascon would do whatever in his power to ensure that Tory Lanez lost that case. Tory Lanez's defense team have alleged the withholding of exculpatory evidence, prosecutorial misconduct, among other issues that I was compelled to write.
All may be true, girl. There may be procedural issues. There may have been some ghetto shit happening in terms of how shit was happening, girl. At the end of the day, Tory Lanez still shot that lady on period. And all the motherfucking evidence. Like, they're trying to reach for everything, girl, to get around the fact that, girl, at this point, y'all majoring in the minors because the major is still the major in the situation. I can even accept that there was shit wasn't being handled in the way it should be. Certain people shouldn't have been here. This should have been done like this. I can deal with all that because typically that's the case in most litigations and trials. Okay, it's a bunch of raggedy shit going on. But the meat and the potatoes is, baby, all the witness testimony put that GUN in Tory Lanez's hands. And Tory Lanez, despite pleading innocent, never took that stand in his own defense and never accused anybody else of popping Megan, even after his own star witness, Sean Kelly, put that GUN in his hands. And that was enough, baby, to convince the jury beyond a reasonable doubt. Especially when y'all own star witness, girl, sells your client down the Mississippi River, girl. Girl, that was the one hitter quitter right there, girl. It's one thing for prosecution to do what they do. Of course, they supposed to. But girl, your own star witness, Judas, Tory Lanez, are y'all okay? And then Tory is the one on the phone copping a plea to Kelsey. He's the one apologizing to the person who apparently did shoot Kelsey. When has Tory Lanez ever demonstrated remorse and did anything selflessly for anybody else? This man ran down on Prince and punched his goddamn teeth out of his mouth. Just had to settle out of court, what, a month or two before trial even started in the Megan Thee Stallion case. Perpetuated total violence against August Alsina and put blood in his mouth. And then gaslit the public by telling us that August Alsina was crazy, out of his mind, deranged, demented, lying on him and clout chasing because he was at the motherfucking studio at the time that August Alsina was alleging that he was assaulted unjustly by Tory. And then fanfare footage comes out of Tory Lanez running down the damn hallway away from August Alsina after he just assaulted the shit out of this man. So we also know he's a motherfucking liar. We know Tory is a liar. We know he don't tell the truth. We know he really is narcissistic enough to believe he can play on the head top of the public. Tory Lanez ain't new to this. He true to this, and we ain't new to Tory Lanez. We seen the pathologies all the way up till his situation with Megan Thee Stallion. Threatening to beat the hell out of Travis Scott. His ex-girlfriend also came forward, made allegations throughout the years of abuse. He was already on a form of probation for walking around with unregistered, unlawful GUNs prior to this new GUN charge in the Megan Thee Stallion Udi. I mean, once again, I can accept, baby, that there are improper this and that and all of that, baby. But when it all comes down to the question of, beyond a reasonable doubt, girl, is Tory Lanez responsible for this Udin, given all the witness testimony, given all the motherfucking circumstantial evidence? It was an easy hell to the yeah. Easy. Easy. Once I heard the phone call, I said, oh, bitch, it's a wrap. Baby, I could hear the little dick energy in Tory Lanez's voice, girl. This man was low-key. He almost wanted to, almost like he was catching himself from saying, you know, I'm sorry, I shot you. It's like he had to remember, girl, he was on a recorded phone call. If you already on probation because you done fucked up your own livelihood, you done compromised your own freedom, and now you sitting down in prison, girl, over some shit somebody else fucking did, you are not gonna be the motherfucker in tears. You is not gonna be the motherfucking person who's being humbled in the situation. Tory Lanez ain't never exhibited no humility, no selflessness, ain't never showed a good goddamn for nobody else. And yet he's on the phone, copping a plea, apologizing to both KELSEY and Megan. What you apologizing for? What you damn near in tears for? What you so sorry about? If you didn't pop this girl, what? What is it? Why is it? What's the tea? Let me see what Pam had to say. I think Pam comment. Let me see what Pam had. Pam says, sounds like they are trying to use it. That's what I said. Like, how is the new breaking evidence hearsay? A third party alleging what they overheard. Well, we done heard a trillion things. How is that breaking new evidence? KELSEY's old bodyguard / Lyft driver, who's probably disgruntled as hell right now because he can't afford eggs and done been terminated and fired, girl, because she can't afford to have no employees under this Trump administration either, girl. Now want to shake the table and claiming he heard a conversation and he coming forward 2 years later. Like, is he okay? And the fact that unite the people who done got their ass whipped 4 times now. Megan done gave them 4 legendary ass whippings. And you would think they would just lay down, girl. Nope. Gonna continue to be just as outlandish and ridiculous as Tory Lanez is. Just as delusional. And then girl, I could go on and on. I could just go on and on. I could just go on. I could just go on, child. Let's listen to the message.
An opinion piece for the New York Post. It is true that last week, the New York Post editors reached out to 3 parties. One being George Gascon, Megan Pete's team, and KELSEY Harris. It is also true that Megan's team was the only ones that responded back for that request for comment.
It means he shot her. It means he shot her. When you got 3 different people, including the victim themselves, who put that GUN in his hands, he ought her. He also had GUN powder on his persons as well. He outed her. When your own star witness puts the GUN in your hands, he ought her. When you follow that up by apologizing profusely, and then you refuse to take the stand and identify the actual ooter, you shot her. Now, I'm so sorry, baby, that wasn't enough for you, but it was damn sure enough for 12 jurors. Okay? Beyond a reasonable doubt. Okay? They don't have to 100% convince you, girl. They just got to build enough of a case, girl. Beyond a reasonable doubt. Did Tory Lanez do and did? Did Tory Lanez do and did? And did? And then his dumb ass, so obsessed with social media, got out here and fucked around instead of sit and see. He would have did better had he not been so impulsive. But we know that Tory got impulse. He lacks impulse control, which is why he needed a restraining order on his ass. He couldn't stay outside a certain feet of Megan Thee Stallion. Why his ass had to get another restraining order put on his ass even after being locked up? Because he lacks impulse control. He would have did better had he shut his damn mouth till trial to try to shift blame on Kelsey, but he fucked around on social media and cleared Kelsey of the OODA. Cleared Kelsey. So you cleared Kelsey. The driver we know didn't do it and ain't nowhere to goddamn be found. 3 people put the GUN in your hands, and then one of those 3 people is your own star witness, and then you on the phone, copping the plea and apologizing. My Cinderella. What a mighty big booty you got underneath that dress.
Tired of typing tons of notes during class?
Baby, she was shot and shot by him. That's what I'm saying. Shot and shot by him.
I'm in class.
I had some glaring questions, and that was the reason for this op-ed. Things didn't make any sense to me, many issues in this case, and I was shocked by the lack of interest from the media.
I don't care what you're shocked by. You look like you voted for Trump. Don't this man look like a black MAGA supporter? All black MAGA supporters look real like tight wound like this, girl. And their favorite word is irregular. They love them some irregular, girl. They have all type of irregular observations, girl. Them black MAGA supporters, girl. They look so tight. They look so stressed, girl. They look so serious. And they just are obsessed, girl, with irregularities.
Ask very simple questions. There were multiple people with gunshot residue on their hands that night. Why didn't all individuals have the residue tested, their DNA tested?
And what would that have even meant? Let's say in the hypothetical that all of them would have been tested, fingerprinted, etc., girl. And yet there were 3 witnesses who identified the person who was the ooter, because touching the gun was not illegal. It was whomever dislodged it. It was the dislodging. It was the activation of the gun. So even had everybody tested it, and it would have been proven, okay, we got Kelsey's DNA. Okay, we got the driver's DNA. Okay, we got old boy's DNA. Okay. So now what you gonna do about the part of Sean Kelly, Kelsey Harris, and Megan Thee Stallion identifying his ass as a shooter? What you was gonna do with all that part? See, majoring in the minor, this is irrelevant. You still was going to have to deal with ultimately who was identified as the ooter. And if everybody got tested, girl, including the manufacturer who manufactured the damn GUN in the factory, girl, if everybody's DNA would have been on it, it still would have came down to who pulled the trigger, and everybody said Tory Lanez did it. So had the gun been tested, had everybody been fingerprinted down to the ground, girl, it was going to do nothing for Tory in the end when everybody involved put the GUN in his custody.
On the weapon? That's a legitimate question. According to the prosecution, Tory was excluded from the clip of the gun. And according to Tory's defense team, they said DNA analysis showed that there was a 0.01% chance that Tory touched.
Nope. What it said was his DNA was inconclusive along with everybody else's, which is why they couldn't identify anybody else's DNA as well. The DNA analysis was inconclusive on everybody's part because there were so many mixed strands of DNA on the GUN. And Kelsey had already admitted to investigators in her interview that her and Tory had a struggle over the GUN and that Deshaun came and broke up the fight. So there it is. You have the 3 people making contact with the GUN. Okay? But because it was so many strands of DNA, girl, it was so many sweaty ass niggas on one Glock that nobody could be exclusively identified from DNA testing. So the DNA testing excluded everybody, not just Tory, because it was mixed DNA. Which also means that Tory Lanez his DNA very well could have been on the GUN. It just can't exclusively prove any one person's DNA and who that DNA belonged to because it's mixed. So you still have a wide lens of interpretation because what the DNA analysis at the end of the day does prove is that multiple strands of DNA, including male and female, are on the Glock. So Tory Lanez arguably, interpretively, still could be argued to have had his DNA on that GUN, and ultimately 3 people put his ass behind the GUN. Therefore, we can reasonably assume that the DNA that was inconclusive because it was mixed up with other DNA, definitely one of those DNAs belonged to the Uter, Miss Tory. But with Tory's so arrogant and so stupid, girl, he believes that y'all so goofy and stupid, girl, that he believes he cannot take the stand. He was that arrogant to believe, the girl, that his own star witness putting a gun in his hand, that he's just that nigga, girl. He ain't had nothing to worry about, girl. Was arrogant until they put his ass in a big pamper. Until they put him in a big orange pamper, girl. He just knew he was so beloved, girl. He just knew, girl, that the gargoyle that he worships and prays to, girl, was just going to save him, girl. And now he believes that he could still play on y'all head top by arguing that there's a witness who bared witness to a third-party conversation about the GUN just magically hitting the ground and discharging itself. My God, today. Girl, how about put the gun on the stand? How about that? Can we just put the gun on the stand, girl? Put the gun itself on the damn stand. I want to hear what the gun got to say.
Actual gun itself. Another piece that stood out to me. The call that the prosecution alleged Tory made confessing to a crime. I listened to that call. I'm sure many of you have as well. I didn't hear a confession. But what really shocked me about it is if my best friend was shot maliciously by someone just 2 or 3 hours before, I wouldn't have answered the call, or if I did, I wouldn't calmly have a conversation with the individual of it. And certainly I would ask, why did you shoot my friend? And more importantly, I would never have given you my current.
And that's the contradicting alchemy. How y'all saying, how Tory out here saying she wasn't shot at all. She stepped on glass. Now it done went from your own client trying to create a narrative that it was never a bullet involved. A gun was never used. Even though they literally pulled the gun from the car, found the shell casings on the street. So we know that a gun was discharged. Had medical expert testimonies along with x-rays to show that there was projectile and all type of metallic material still in Meg to this day. So how your client arguing she was never shot, she stepped on glass, so now we're going to bring in a star witness to say, girl, well, she was shot, but she was shot accidentally. Girl, if y'all don't get away from me with this, if you don't get away from me with this, these people literally, girl, you know, I can't even be mad at it. Fight for your life. Tory Ball Spot Lanes. Fight for your life, child. You ain't got nothing but time in your goddamn hands. And now you're down there getting stabbed the hell up, girl. You definitely got to crank up the fight for your life 2.0 because you're literally fighting for your life literally now, girl. You are literally fighting for your life, girl. You can't even go to sleep in that big-ass open space dorm knowing that another crazy ninja is somewhere, girl, thinking about you know, putting a butter knife, girl, through your eye socket, child. Tory Lanez probably down there sleeping with both eyes open, having open dreams. Down there, girl, suffering from paranoia, girl. They probably got him in isolation, child. Paranoid. Shook, girl. Shook. When you gonna stop playing with people? You played with Megan and fucked around and found out. You're down there playing with them prisoners, girl, and you fucking around and find out. When is the fuck around and find out season just gonna come to an end for a motherfucker who already doing a 7 to 10 because he fucked around and then found out? You know, Tory Lanez has just decided, girl, that he's going to be an immovable object before a unstoppable force. Okay, continue to do that, girl, because it looks like you're putting yourself on the trajectory of this Final Destination sequence as a result of trying to out-control and out-supreme the universe. And the universe keeps winning, girl. Every time you keep thinking, girl, that you are above the program. Every time that you keep believing, girl, that you are the exception to the rule, girl. Every time you keep going up, girl, against the actual creator of the simulation, girl. The program keeps proving, child, that there is no contending it. That there is nothing beyond it. That all there is it. Tory Lanez, in fact, may not make it through the thing alive. And it's going to be of his own doing. If he would sit his ass down, stop walking around a prison, girl, as a 2'11" leprechaun power bottom, cosplaying as a leprechaun top, nobody would be stumping his ass out, child, and having him hooked up to breathing apparatuses.
Location out of fear of you finishing the job. That was something that stood out to me. I also, in my op-ed, discussed Kelsey Harris pleading the Fifth Amendment. She wasn't accused of anything by Megan Pete.
She was being accused by Tory's legal defense team. That's why that bitch needed her motherfucking immunity. She knew her fingerprints were on that GUN. And once again, Tory Lanez's lawyers, clout chasing and inappropriately utilizing social media, they were putting their game plan out, which is what gave even KELSEY the opportunity to make sure she went and protected her motherfucking self. Because y'all already had started lining her up. Y'all were communicating to TMZ and to all these media outlets. Oh, yeah, the gunshot powder residue was on KELSEY as well. There was more DNA of the woman on the Glock than it was the man, putting out all this tea, alluding to the fact that y'all were going to try to blame shift and throw KELSEY under the bus. And KELSEY, rightfully so, understood the motherfucking assignment and got her ass down there, girl, and got her qualified immunity in exchange for the truth. And then had no personal contact with Sean Kelly, who was a complete external third party, who had no relationship to nobody involved, who also happened to have said the same thing that KELSEY did. The same thing that Megan did. Megan and KELSEY never even got together because Megan evicted KELSEY ass out of the camp the first week. All this shit popped off. So none of these people had access to each other. None of these people were on the same page. None of these people, Sean Kelly, Megan, and KELSEY, were in a friendship clique. None of them had nothing to do with each other. Matter of fact, two of the people that put the gun in your hands, girl, were at odds with each other the entire motherfucking time. And yet, everybody's story was the same. Everybody told the same truth.
The police, and to my knowledge, she wasn't under any investigation. So why plead the Fifth? What also shocked me is the prosecution gave her immunity. For what? What did she do? Is there an allegation of her doing something?
Girl, don't make me pull up my old live streams Stop acting like, girl, we wasn't out here. Stop acting like we didn't live through this trial. Stop acting like we didn't live through all the headlines leading up to the motherfucking trials. Hold on. Let me get this Trump supporter. Hold on. Cause see, it be the head games that I can't do. Hold on, let me see something. This motherfucker talking about, was there an allegation? Yeah, bitch, this is the allegation. Just go and Miss Google, girl. And these were the allegations. 2022, iHeart reports Tory Lanez and Kelsey Harris tested positive for GUN residue. Girl, 2022, Los Angeles Times, at Tory Lanez trial, Megan Thee Stallion's ex-best friend tests positive for residue. Does not mean someone fired the GUN, but also says he was a witness who can identify Harris as the Uda girl. This was the play. Yeah, girl, these were the allegations, girl. And she was out here reading the same headlines that we were reading, child. Okay, girl, your team was out here, girl, chatting it up about what y'all play was, about the line Kelsey ass up, and Kelsey understood the assignment and went and did what she had to do. Stop acting like, girl, it's no reason why would Kelsey? Because y'all were about to line her ass up. That's why she did it. Your lawyer's giving direct statements to media, lining Kelsey ass up. And Kelsey fucked around and said, girl, who said that? And then your client, you forgot, cleared Kelsey. So Megan didn't pop herself. The driver isn't implemented in any regard at all in this whole situation. Kelsey was cleared by the defendant. Okay.
I'm not aware of that. Maybe some of you can answer that question today.
No, she's not okay with them reporting that she did it. She was mad as hell. Because she was, remember when she did her video, her live stream, and I think even when she testified, but remember when she said that's what she was mad at Megan over? Is for one, she got rejected after she had just put her life on the line, defending this girl all night long from inside the vehicle when Tory first started fucking with her till when the whole shit popped off with the pop off. And now she got a bald spot just like Tory, girl. She done got bruised and then went neck to neck with patriarchy, girl, and got towed the hell up in the name of defending Megan. And then they had the nerve to send her ass back to Texas without as much as a goodbye, paid for 1 year's worth of rent after she had done what you call that shit? Subleased her apartment and all this stuff. And then remember, she said Megan caught her when Megan, I guess, had made the decision that she was about to clear Tory Lanez's ass since he kept gaslighting her on social media. So she was about to come forward and she asked Kelsey, do you want me to clear you? Do you want me, to defend you in this thing? And Kelsey said, hell yeah, because people around here saying that I did this. People saying that I popped you. And then Megan got up there and she did say, my best friend, like, this nigga stupid, trying to put the shift on Kelsey, because he was even doing that then, even very early on. Talking about, like alluding to the shit in songs, like, two best friends fell out with each other because they found out they was fucking on the same nigga. Remember, he was trying to slide that in as a motive. He been trying to slide Kelsey ass. He been trying to subtly put shift on Kelsey ass to deflect from him. And then remember, Kelsey said she was mad because she felt like for some reason, Kelsey felt like Megan didn't clear it enough. Even though Megan clearly went in on Tory Lanez, made him sound completely stupid for even trying to posture Kelsey ass up, cleared her name, and then literally put the address on it and said Tory Lanez shot me. But Kelsey wanted a lot more than that. But she was pissed because she felt like she wasn't defended enough. And a part of her trauma was being trolled. And people claiming that she did this to Megan. And that was a part of the contention because she felt like, I guess she wanted Megan to fight those allegations every time that they would headline. Over and over and over again. And here's another guy. Do you actually fucking believe that Megan ass would have took care of the bitch that shot her ass for a year? You think she would have paid for Kelsey's motherfucking rent for a year? If Kelsey would have had the motherfucking audacity to pop her on behalf of a nigga that didn't even belong to either one of them, and to get so motherfucking pressed about her fucking on a nigga that didn't belong to either one of them, you think she would have even been that kind? No. She would not. But because Kelsey didn't have the platform to defend herself at the level that, Tory can defend himself, and Megan couldn't defend her, and Megan can defend herself, she was wanting Megan to pretty much dead that shit. Dead that shit. Dead it. I'm not the famous one. I'm just a personal assistant. I'm just a friend. I'm just an employee. I don't got, I'm not the superstar. She expected more from Megan, and rightfully so, because y'all already know I do identify and I sympathize with Kelsey, because I felt like both Megan and Kelsey were a victim of circumstances. I do believe that Megan broke girl code. Kelsey continues to assert that. I do believe that Kelsey and Meg had an altercation that night. I do believe that there was a verbal and a physical altercation between them two. But I do not believe that Kelsey popped Megan. It don't make no sense. Kelsey wouldn't have had no motive. Kelsey admitted, girl, that while they was in the back seat, girl, she was texting her niggas. She was texting other niggas she was dealing with, girl, that I'm in danger, girl. She said she had a man in prison who was calling her when all this was going on. So Kelsey, girl, had multiple niggas. She admitted she had multiple niggas. She admitted that Tory Lanez was not per se her nigga, but she was just under the impression that she was supposed to be the one pretty much acting as the geisha in the situation. She was the field soldier who was supposed to be, keeping Tory, keep him happy, keep him sweet, fuck with him. We under the pandemic. He got the summer on lock. He got a huge following. I'm still on the up and up. Let's keep this nigga close. Kelsey just didn't understand why you didn't tell me you was fucking him. As my best friend, we get niggas together. We fuck niggas together, girl. We team up. It be pussy power all day. What was the purpose of withholding that information from me after you had already done put me on an assignment? And I get that. I don't even think Kelsey was jealous. I think it was just a principle thing. Like, you making me feel like it's some weird shit going on because me and you, we like that. We talk about every motherfucking thing. We discussed Tory. We had an agenda when it came to Tory. Why was you leaving out certain shit and then had me out here doing my part? Because now it just make you look weird. If we gon' rob a bank together, bitch, I need to know the ins and outs because I'm putting my shit on the line to this agenda. It ain't about jealousy, ain't about dick envy, ain't about none of that. It's just about principle that we sisters and we in some shit together. And if I'm gonna be in this shit with you, you need to be telling me everything just like you expect me to be keeping you up on the key details of what's going on. Because if you was already gonna be fucking on the nigga, what was the point of putting me on the nigga? Why was I putting my pussy on the line if you was already gonna have your spinning bird on the dick? I could have kept my pussy in my panties. I could have kept my titties in my bra. If you was just gonna offer your body on the platter, on the motherfucking altar, what was the point, bitch, of me letting myself out in the name, bitch, of the bag, in the name of, girl, Rock Nation, girl, in the name of Gorilla Gluing the shit together, girl? That was a waste of my pussy. If you was just gonna be putting pussy on a nigga. Girl, you know damn well I ain't no more attracted to him than you is, bitch. We both know that Tory ain't easy on the eyes. We both know, girl, that I gotta close my eyes, girl. I gotta induce alcoholism, girl, just to make it through doggy style with the nigga, girl. So if I would have known you was gonna take that for the team, girl, you could have let me know that, girl. So I could have put my panties back in the drawer. Girl, I could have put my pussy back on the hanger. Girl, you got me out here taking ugly dick, bitch, for nothing when you was already executing the execution of it all, girl. What? Yeah, girl, look at Tory Lanez. Any of us would have been upset, bitch, if we found out that this job could have been done by somebody else and you had me doing the janitorial work. Knowing damn well, girl, ain't none of us wanted to mop those floors. Ain't none of us wanted to index that dick. Yeah, girl, I would have had to go upside your motherfucking head too, girl. The audacity to have had me out here fucking on this ugly nigga, girl. When you was already sacrificing your puss. Now I gotta beat your ass, bitch. Just because of the nerve of it all, girl. It would have been different if Tory Lanez was an 8 in the face. Slim in the waist. And fat in the wallet, girl. But he was already not easy on the eyes. Girl, gingivitis all up in the saliva, offset in my motherfucking pH balance. And I already got 3 other niggas, girl, in the coop. And you was already on the mission? What was the point? What was the point? I could have been unnecessary in this whole mix. So yeah, girl, I would have been pressed too, girl. We would have been fighting down to the ground too, girl. But at the end of the day, Tory Lanez is the only one out of everybody in that situation, girl, who got a track record for having guns, has a track record, girl, for drawing blood out of people, girl. And at the end of the day, the whole commotion ultimately was revolving around Megan and Tory. KELSEY was just a sideline character. She ain't had no reason to be so pissed, bitch, that it was going to result in her killing a superstar and her fucking up her life, girl. No, she the one who had everything to gain by Megan staying alive. Megan was going to be her alley-oop into fame herself, into multi-millions herself. Why the fuck would she have popped and took a chance being so emotionally consumed in this situation that Tory and Megan got, even though she is being sidelined in the situation, when at the end of the day, Megan is still a lick. Megan is still a lick, bitch. I done moved out here to LA, girl, to get into the things because of Megan. She's my bridge into the next level. I'm not going to injure the mule. I'm not going to injure, girl, the workhorse. That don't make no sense, bitch. I'm the person that got everything to gain in this situation. Tory and Meg, y'all already done made it across the finish line, girl. So I'm not about to lessen my odds of getting into Hollywood by committing to hurting this bitch like that. But you know who did have a track record of already being past the finish line and still putting his promised land on the line? AKA the lawsuit with Prince, AKA running down on August Alsina, which could have resulted in another civil lawsuit and criminal charges. The only person who had a full criminal pathology, pathology was Tory Lanez. KELSEY don't got no mug shots. She ain't on no probation. She don't even have a fucking history of being violent. She don't even got a history, girl, of being irrational and losing her motherfucking shit. But you know who did? Tory motherfucking Lanez.
During the time of trial, George Gascon, just to take you back to where we were at that particular point, he had just barely won a recall attempt. He lost support in many key demographics of voters. Crime was up in Los Angeles County.
She was texting the bodyguard of T Goddess. She texts Meg's bodyguard, Tory shot Megan. And then Tory got out here and cleared KELSEY. KELSEY did not shoot Megan. Yeah, she was texting the bodyguard. Because remember, they were trying to find the bodyguard for the trial too. But he was across seas and all this shit. And by the time him and Daquan showed up to the courthouse, girl, they was pretty much on the last day. And, you know, a prosecution and all of them felt like, girl, you know, we pretty much got it at this point. You know, ain't no point in creating space, girl. The jurors are ready to go home. The production has production, girl. But both the driver and the bodyguard showed up at the last minute. But the bodyguard was supposed to testify too. And he had said that when he came to pick up Megan Thee Stallion's clothes from Tory Lanez's house, this was following the incident that Tory Lanez apologized to him for shooting Meg. He said he accepted Tory Lanez's apology, etc., but that's what he was coming to testify to. And that was Meg's fine-ass bodyguard.
And this case would have been a silver bullet for him potentially winning. His policies obviously were bad and people were harmed. So that didn't happen, and thank God it didn't happen. At the heart of this injustice is the misuse of gun enhancement charges, a sentencing tool intended for the most dangerous and violent offenders. In Tory Lanez's case, these enhancements were not supported by evidence. But George Gascon, interestingly enough, who is someone who regularly would drop enhancements or not recommend them, chose to provide enhancements to Tory. And in his case, in any given situation, according to legal analysts I've spoken with, he would do 1 to 3 years if he did it without the enhancement. That's interesting. Why did George Gascon choose to pursue these enhancements? You know, there's cases I've been looking through which George Gascon has pursued, many in which he utilized these enhancements. A couple come to mind that I would like to reference here.
Dad, don't forget about my new tweet.
Sweetie, I can't make it to Dix this week.
Have you heard of Dix.com?
Y'all thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
One, Raymond Danger Gonzalez, a Mexican mafia gang member involved in a premeditated murder of 2 young men in 2017. Despite the brutality of the crime, Gascon did recommend enhancements. You premeditated murdered a teenager and another individual, brutal crime. Why would you recommend enhancements, but you would recommend them for Tory? That doesn't make a lot of sense. He also didn't pursue sentencing enhancements for the senseless murder of General Hospital actor Johnny Whitker in Los Angeles in 2024. There's a lot of issues with this case. Many, I think, that the media should be pursuing all angles of it. We should not allow there to be unanswered questions. We should pursue open questions without fear or favor to anyone. That includes Mr. Tory Lanez. In his letter from the Birmingham jail, Dr. Martin Luther King wrote,
"Oh God, girl, that girl, White people and black MAGA love to throw some damn Dr. King up in some foolishness, girl. I'm so sick of all these damn raccoons looking for their Coretta Scott King, girl. I am so sick of them trying to weaponize, girl, Dr. King. I just wish that Dr. King would just come back from the dead one time, bitch, and just do, girl, a mass genocide on these motherfucking coons, girl. Always, girl. The raccoons never miss an opportunity, girl, to throw Dr. King up in some shit. Shout out to my boo, a voice of reason, girl. Put the GUN on trial, on period.
Justice everywhere. If we take those words seriously, we must act when injustice is allowed to fester in plain sight. I founded the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety after my innocent...
Dr. King would have never said a goddamn thing on behalf of Tory Raggedy Ass Lanez, a man who perpetuated abuse against women, men, just a menace, girl, unto South Central, girl. He would have never organized a march to Washington, girl, and in the name of Tory, girl. Leave Dr. King, girl, the Black Jesus, up out of this.
His brother was murdered in Chicago on June 24, 2022. I stand firmly for public safety, for victims' rights, and for holding criminals accountable. But justice also demands that we protect the innocent and stand against politically motivated prosecutions. This is what I believe to happen here. When we imprison the innocent while violent offenders walk free, which is what George Gascon has often done, we undermine the very foundation of our legal system. Mr. Peterson was never given a fair trial, free from bias, political interference, and media-driven pressure. His continued incarceration erodes public trust and diverts focus from the real work of keeping our community safe. Further, while incarcerated, Mr. Peterson was recently stabbed in prison, as many of you know.
If Dr. King cheating was good enough for Coretta Scott King, it's good enough for you too, bitch.
A tragic incident that underscores the urgency of this situation and the risk to his life while this case remains unaddressed. Governor Newsom, I respectfully urge you to issue a pardon for Daystar Peterson, known as Tory Lanez, in a full and impartial review of his case. California must not be a state where justice is driven by headlines instead of evidence. And in the case of George Gascon, that was often the case. So I encourage everyone here to go to CaldwellInstitute.org, CALDWELL, Institute, INSTITUTE.org, and sign the petition. This petition asks for the governor to pardon Tory Lanez. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. I know there's a lot of noise.
Oh, God. Here come Heather, girl. Here come fucking Heather.
The media going on with other stories, but I think that this is one of the most important stories happening right now today regarding our Justice Department. My name is Diana London. I'm the CEO of the Secret Weapon Agency, which is a crisis communication firm, and I'm also the CEO of a company called London Global Strategies. I am a member of the media as well. I'm a commentator on a few networks, and I also serve as an advisor for Giano's Institute and also another company called Promising People that is fighting to reduce racism in this country and also to correct our criminal justice laws. As a woman who has worked in Congress on criminal justice reform, I deeply believe in law and order.
Oh, God, I can't deal. Let's move through Karen Heather. Y'all run those likes up, run those likes up, run those likes up, girl. Heather Madagascar, girl. Okay, we're going to have to just skim on through that and get straight to the degenerate that birthed Tory Lanez, which would be, of course, his father. Okay, run those likes up.
Lending your cameras to the world. We appreciate you being here. My name is Sunstar Peterson, well known as the father of Tory Lanez, but his family affectionately knows him as Daystar Peterson. This may seem not even to matter today, but it does to me. The reason why he bears the name Daystar is because I was scheduled to speak in a conference in Washington, D.C. back in the early 2000s. Back in the late 90s. My wife and I stayed in a hotel across the river in Northern Virginia. I was up praying before that conference that I was supposed to speak at that evening. As I paced back and forth in my hotel suite praying, I began to quote the scripture from 2 Peter chapter 1, and it states, "For you will do well to take heed as unto a light shining in a dark place."
Oh God, here come the goddamn Daystar Luther King ass speech, girl. I can't stand all this goddamn demonic preaching.
So I'm going to pray a very short prayer before I get started here today.
Oh no, you're not, girl. I'm not about to listen to them curses.
Dismiss the fact that so many people, it was overwhelming the amount of people that sent letters to their office and were called to testify before the courts as they were considering sentence, which had already been decided, and the judge blatantly showed on that day that it really didn't matter what anybody said. It was supposed to be a forum in which it would be decided based on all the extenuating circumstances, etc. But it had already been decided behind closed doors. It's so funny that there is indeed a woman who has made it her life's mission to be the whip in the press or on the blogs. I'm not even going to call her name right now, but those who know. Everything that has to do with Tory Lanez, I believe that she is in some way compensated to spread these narratives. And so before the sentence was read in court,
says the man who's caught on prison calls with his son, cackling about how Rock Nation's attorney in the Megan Thee Stallion cyberstalking case against Fraud Radio is never going to be able to find the receipts to prove that Fraud Radio is a paid surrogate. And the Zelle receipts into the group chat, girl. And the Zelle payments are made from him, Daystar Senior, directly to Fraud Radio, girl. And girls, y'all press because Meg keep peeling back the layers of y'all toupees, girl, and revealing the scandalous transactional coup y'all have failed to form against her, girl. And she got her foot on every last one of y'all smudged, charred necks. Oh, yes, she does.
This was read in court. She already knew. That's really interesting to me. She already knew because she had discussed it with others, not knowing that it would come back to us. God is my witness. So moving right along, Daystar did not suffer superficial wounds. He was stabbed 14 times.
Well, somebody might say thank God.
5 times in his back, 1 under his left cheekbone.
The way that he stabbed Megan and Kelsey in their backs.
In fact, his jaw was open. He was stabbed twice in the back of his head, and the rest.
Somebody decided that he needed a brain. Whoever stabbed him in the back of his head wanted to check to make sure that there was a brain there. And the only way to find that out was to open it up and to make the personal and intimate observation themselves.
In his torso, arms, and in his chest. It may seem sensational, but thankfully, like Dr. King, it was close to his heart, but did not penetrate. After that, he was being rushed to a facility nearby in a vehicle in which he said, and I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last. And having made my peace with God."
Why did that happen to him? It's the same reason why it happened to Megan. You know, the universe put Tory in a why did this happen? It was equal measure. A man must reapeth that which he soweth.
I said, okay, God, is this how it's supposed to end?
Megan still don't have an understanding of why someone she trusted would do this. She doesn't have a context. She doesn't have an understanding. Why should Tory have an understanding of why a random, unsolicited act of violence would find him? Don't you find that fascinating? Don't you find that very interesting that Megan was the victim of unwarranted, unsolicited violence, and her ooter and abuser is the recipient of alleged unwarranted violence by a maniac in prison who had a history of stabbing up other prisoners just because he could and just because he can. When I tell you that Tory Lanez, literally his karma has been copied and pasted, and he's literally been put in every situation Megan has, emotionally, publicly, mentally, physically, etc., and then some. The universe pressed the gas and then some. And then some. Wow, 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 wow.
God said no.
Wow.
God told him, do not give up.
Wow.
96%.
He won't have to give up. Somebody's going to make him give up. Those 14 wounds of Christ. Those 14 piercings of the crucifixion, girl, were just the beginning, girl. He's not going to have to give up, girl. Somebody's going to give up for him.
Upon which he turned to the attending officers and he said, you must get me to wherever is the closest place that I can get to. I'm bleeding out here. My boat, he didn't even know his lungs had collapsed. All he knows is that he couldn't breathe. He could hardly speak. Upon which the officer turned around and looked at him and said, nah, we got to take him.
Now you saying something about that Megan girl. That Megan and that motherfucking Monique, baby. Them is two motherfucking people I would never play with, baby. Baby, they're just some people, girl. The heavens just stick real close to them, girl. Mo got everything and then some, girl, out of everybody that pressed and tried on her ass, and she gonna get her apology from Tyler Perry. Believe that, baby. Baby, that Megan and that Monique, baby. Baby, you stay the hell away from them folk, baby. They got fuck around and find out energy, girl, real bad. Got it real bad. Gotta stay away from them folk, girl. Something serious, girl. It's on Miss Megan and Miss Mo, baby. Them folk gonna get full justice.
Airlifted. And thankfully, to God be the glory, he was airlifted. I want to report to you that I am very thankful to all of the attending nurses, doctors in that facility. They have done an amazing job in their professional capacity. I would also like to publicly say thank you to the COs, the correctional officers that we have seen around him. In fact, these guys have been nothing but kind to him. The system is one thing, but guess what? There are people who work in the system, and some of them still have hearts. Some of them still have a conscience. So as I'm winding down today, I would like to report to all of you who care about Daystar Peterson, the artist Tory Lanez, around the world. The reports in the hospital is that he is doing remarkably well. I was told yesterday, because they had already taken out the tubes that were...
Girl, I don't know why this man is giving us a Dr. Fauci ass speech. Let me fast forward, son.
...stands for, please continue to stand with us. As I stated before, Daystar was not drunk on that morning. It was 6:30 in the morning. It was nothing like that. It was an unprovoked attack. I don't want to go into the details of how it went, although I know them, because it is too gory to be describing right now. And so as I close today, whatever has been needed to be said has been said. So as I close, I want to quote you David, the king of Israel, who said, you...
Okay, girl. All right. Let's get to Kelsey real quick. I want y'all to hear this.
Right. See, for me, I feel like everything was okay before that, as far as what I thought. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know if, like I said, I don't know if she just took that opportunity to just say, like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Right?
So much was going on at that time. Too.
Right.
And I'm sure everything kind of just...
It was fast. Believe it or not, that was my last time ever seeing her.
Really?
Wow. And it's crazy. How do you go through something like this with somebody, with your best friend, your sister, and you just push them out so easily? I don't know. I'm a different type of person, I guess.
You really are. Because in front of the world, she went out, and it's clear now, right, that she went out and lied in front of the world, so that I was never with him and stuff like that. And you weren't the type of person that went out screaming to the media that said, yes, you were. You just stayed chill. You stayed yourself throughout all that.
Yeah, and it wasn't an easy thing to do because there was so many.
And Kelsey didn't completely do that. So she definitely got her ass out here in social media, girl. She put out a diss track on Megan. She got out here and did a live stream, girl, and slammed her for breaking girl code, girl, and for jumping on the nigga that she was put on to first. She was definitely out here in comment sections, girl. Okay, she tried to team up with Nicki Minaj when Nicki Minaj had put out them rubber ass Reebok shoes she was selling out of the swap meet market, child. To be antagonistic, girl. Kelsey definitely been on her bald-headed shit, on her bald-headed whole shit. Now, she definitely was, relatively speaking of Tory Lanez, relatively quiet, comparatively speaking. But no, she just did not sit, girl, like a caged bird and sit on her hands. She was popping her shit too.
Times I wanted to go off, clear my name, defend my name, up against these lies. But they say, like, people who run to tell their story first, they do it because they're scared of, like, the truth. You telling your...
So you're talking about Tory Lanez then, because he was the first to run his mouth, which is what activated Megan's mouth. So you're talking about Tory and don't even know that you're really talking about Tory, because Tory was the first to get out here when the reports came out that she stepped on glass and blah, 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 boom, 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 boom. He was doing his fair share of trolling. Okay. She got out here. She had to speak to the footage because TMZ already had the footage of her walking backwards in blood, all of this shit over an alleged shooting, is it glass, etc. She had already had to tell the police what had happened when she was getting her examination done. So she couldn't even continue to protect the crew to that degree. So what she got out here and did was made a general statement. Yes, I was shot, you guys. I did not step on glass. Your boy got shook, okay? But Megan, being a superstar, something that you're not, Kelsey, you already know that. She had to clear it up on the front end because, I mean, the situation was being sensationalized because of her. And the patrol and helicopter footage and all that shit. But she still kept everybody's name out of it. She never identified who shot her. She walked away, and then your boy started getting tricky, icky. I don't even believe that Megan would have said anything had that TMZ footage not existed. Had the cops not disseminated the camera footage or however the fuck it got access to. But because it got access to and it was going fucking viral, I mean, she couldn't get out here and on the front end say, yeah, continue the narrative, I stepped on glass. When I now done had to tell the fucking doctor that I got shot, which then led to me having to tell the fucking police that. So now she had to tell the truth. But still didn't say who. And your boy just couldn't stop running his mouth over and over and over again. He decided that the smartest thing for him to do was to get out here and antagonize her. Now, why the fuck would you do that knowing damn well you the goddamn shooter? And she one syllable away, girl, from putting T after shooter, girl, and get out here litigating and arguing. The fact that Tory Lanez was the first to respond to Megan saying she didn't step in glass, that she was shot? To your logic, Kelsey, you just incriminated the fuck out of Tory Lanez ass. Why would he go to all of a sudden trolling? Go to all of a sudden and try to punch holes in her story when she hadn't even called his name at that point? Why? He was the first to tell his story. Wasn't he the one to call your ass from the police precinct? Wasn't he the one to call you? Megan had left your ass outside the fucking hospital in the cold in your damn thong. So really the first person who told a story was Tory Lanez. And even after you watched a man injure your boss and your ex-friend, turn around and beat the fuck out of you, and after he created a situation that traumatized all y'all, that resulted in the collapse of your life as you knew it to be, that collapsed your friendship to Megan, you still gonna sit your goofy, mammified, pick Misha, big bang, shiny head ass up here and fixate on Megan when the both of y'all are victims in this situation? This is what pick Misha look like. This is what being very male identified look like. And I understand because she's closer to Megan, she gonna be, that's where her hurt gonna be more so than even toward Tory. But at the end of the day, bitch, I don't give a fuck how disappointed I would have been in my best friend. Yeah, I'd be hurt. I'll talk shit about that bitch too. But baby, I'd be equally dragging the fuck out of Tory Lanez as well, girl. Because at the end of the day, girl, you created this situation by the extreme action you took. By pulling that fucking trigger. And putting your fucking hands on me. I'm okay with her bashing Megan, girl. Megan broke. Okay, fine. She broke the girl code. She betrayed you. The whole nine, I get it. You feel like she ain't really defend you, girl. She kicked you out the boot. She left you to all your trauma, girl. You ain't had nowhere to go, nobody to turn to. You had to deal with this all by your fucking self. Okay, cool. I get that. I ain't even gonna take away her talking shit. But equal measure should be going toward Tory. The sentiments are just a little disproportionate. Some of this heat for Megan also needs to be equally put on Tory. Equally.
Yeah. So they got to paint this picture of you.
Let that be the narrative.
And make people believe you're this bad person before you can do it to them. You know what I'm saying? My intention is never to like paint somebody as a bad person. But my story, unfortunately, has to reveal these people's character. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think they...
But you're saying these people, but the only person's character you keep alluding to is Megan.
That, you know, you don't want me to tell my side of the story.
But you already have on the stand, in your interview, in your diss song, in your live stream, and the only person we keep hearing you give commentary to is Megan. But here you're using the word their character, but we ain't heard shit about Tory.
Because it's going to reveal like things about you that is just like not right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So doesn't it bother you when, you know, I did see the clip where she's like, "Oh, you better speak up or you better say anything." You know, like
that the one recently.
Yeah, it's like you don't want me to speak up, but I feel that with the time that she did spend with you, and she knows of you. She knows that you are the type of individual that you don't.
I don't like.
She uses that to her advantage.
To her advantage.
She's a big girl. She's probably always looking down on people.
I totally agree with that. Not the big girl part. Not the big girl part. The part about, you know, she knows my true character. So she knows, like, even though, yes, if it comes down to it, whatever, I'm gonna handle my business.
Yeah.
I don't go out and seek drama. I'm not a confrontational person, but if it has to be that, then that's what it is. but I would prefer to not have to go there. You know what I'm saying? And these are things that, you know, she does know. You know, I'm not the type of person. I'm not fixing to get on the internet and do all that.
But you did, baby. You got in the studio and made a whole diss track, girl. Cut it out.
No, again,
I'd rather Kelsey just say, girl, yeah, I mad at that hoe. The bitch broke girl code. She betrayed me. She lied. I mean, she gonna say some of that, but it's like she's talking out of both sides of her neck. It's like her ego trying to convince her to be like, you know, I ain't pressed, I ain't bothered, I don't do all that, but then she go do all that. So she literally be like, she be dancing with 2 left feet, girl.
I prefer not to get too into detail about those types of things, but I did want to ask: is that night, the infamous night, the night that you actually found out about the betrayal?
It's crazy. Yeah, it is. It is. To my knowledge, shit. Other than that, like shit, she was 100. Yeah. To my knowledge. So yeah, it did end up coming out that night that she had been betraying me or whatever, and of course it's like, damn, why it had to come out like this? Like we should be able to. You should be able to come to me and say this. That way we can laugh in these niggas' faces.
Agreed. Totally agree with that.
Not these niggas laughing at us.
Supposed to be on the same team.
Right, exactly.
Agreed.
And so,
agreed.
But for me, it's never about like, I'm not fixing to fall out with nobody about behind no guy.
Agreed.
That's like.
And once again, I don't believe that for Kelsey it was about a guy. I think it was about a principle, and it was about her coven and the trust and transparency that was supposed to be between her and Megan. The Tory Lanez situation was just a catalyst to address that issue. But I don't believe that Kelsey was pressed about Tory at all. I think she was truly disappointed that her friend just kept her out, you know, on the outs of a situation they had already had an agreement about. So Megan made herself look weird as fuck.
Ass thing. You know what I'm saying? But of course, there are principles. And of course, when you are this tight with somebody, we should never have to do that to each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I did find out that night. Yeah.
Now the pain that had to cause in your life, and you've mentioned it earlier, being able to trust again. Like we got into it, right? This is your best friend. Well, now you're out in the world, and it's like, okay, well, this person wants to be your friend. They're trying to, like, you could see yourself.
All right. So let's also get to like this whole thing of Megan. Let me see here. Is stepping on glass, girl. There was an angle of what? Patrol footage, cop footage, a body cam footage that showed Megan allegedly, apparently stepping on glass. I just really can't believe that people still believe this. This is just funny to me. Like, you know, could it have people not considered that two things can be true at the same time? Maybe there was glass in the street. I don't know whether them niggas were smashing bottles as well, or glass was already in the street for whatever reason, and she got shot. Like, two things can be true at the same time. That there was glass on the street, and she also got popped. Her actual injuries, and we've shown her injuries to the foot, aren't even consistent with stepping in glass, because she has injuries only to one concentrated part of her foot, and that's like the heel, ankle, the back ankle heel portion of her foot is kind of like smashed up. You can't even step on glass in a way that creates where the injury was. If she had stepped on glass, there would have been scars and scratches and everything else all up under her feet as well. So I'm not understanding how this whole glass, just take a look at the footage. Let me just. Hold on to your love. Hold on, let me share this fucking screen. All right. Here's Megan getting out of the car. Are they? So where are they saying the glass at? Are they saying that this here is the glass? I don't know. Like I don't even know where the glass is supposed to be. Where's the glass supposed to be? Hold on, let me see. Is there audio on this shit? Oh. Okay, so let me.
Move back to the sound of my voice. Keep your hands up. Move back to the sound of my voice. Move back. Keep going. Keep going.
Now we know that she said she stepped on glass, but this is supposed to be the footage that shows her stepping on a glass bottle the night of her arrest. She already said she never stepped, that she didn't step on glass. She said she told that as a cover story to the police because she didn't want to escalate the situation by telling them that there was a active shooter with them, because this was following the whole George Floyd situation and she was scared to be fucking AK-47 by the cops. So she told them to justify why she was bleeding, that she stepped on glass. And this is another thing. People are so stupid. Meg got out of the car dripping blood. She got out of the car dripping blood. There was blood all up in the fucking back seat of the car. They took the car in for evidence. They took the SUV in for evidence. This is the footage of the police pulling them over. So this is after the whole ordeal. She got out of the vehicle already with bloody ass feet. There was blood all on the floor, all on the back seat, the whole nine.
Hey, stop. Move to the left. Keep moving. Walk back on the sidewalk. Yeah, keep walking back on the sidewalk. 79, keep coming back to the sound of my voice.
All right, so that girl was. So people still running with the glass. But now they're arguing, girl. The new evidence argues that no, she was shot just accidentally, girl. So let's revisit this girl. Doctors who operated on Megan Thee Stallion after she was shot said remnants from the bullets are still inside of her feet. On the fourth day of Tory Lanez trial on assault charges, prosecutors called in a surgeon who operated on Megan Thee Stallion's GUN shot wounds, who detailed the gruesome bullet wounds she sustained after a gathering at Kylie Jenner's house in 2020. Prosecutors with the LA District Attorney's Office accused Lanez's legal name is Daystar Peterson, blah, blah, blah. On Thursday's prosecutors, let me see. All right. Chief resident in Cedars-Sinai Medical Center orthopedic surgery department, who explained x-rays of Megan's injuries, said surgery was necessary when she came into the hospital the day of the outing. On Megan's left foot, too metallic, not glass. Now, if anybody can explain to me how metallic and glass are synonymous, girl, just make a believer out of me. I stand corrected. Metallic foreign bodies were visible on the outside of her heel bone. Haruno said Megan was missing the top layer of her skin on this foot, as seen in images she posted and then deleted online, making for a complex wound closure. On her right foot, the same metallic foreign bodies were present in soft tissues of the heel, otherwise referred to as her Achilles, Haruno said. In each image, there were dozens of specks depicted, showing tiny bullet fragments that the surgeons were not able to remove. Quote, when foreign bodies are that small, it often causes more harm to try to remove them, Haruno told the court, adding that small fragments still remain in Megan's foot today. On Tuesday, Megan testified that she still experiences pain and nerve damage in both feet and has lost feeling in the left side of her foot. Quote, "It is likely that metallic object in that location can cause persistent pain," Haruno said. The rapper explained that she initially lied to police about the source of her wound, saying that she stepped on glass because she worried about the career repercussions of accusing Lanez of ooting her, and she was fearful about the law enforcement response the summer of 2020 when tensions between police and the Black community were high. Days later, she shared on social media that she had been shot in August of 2020. She said that Lanez was responsible. Since then, da-da-da-da-da. All right, so, baby, if people still want to look into a cloud and see glass in Megan's foot, girl, if they still want to look into water, look into, if they want to scry into cotton candy and see glass in Megan's foot, if they want to listen to a delusional ass bald-headed Tory Lanez and delusional ass content creators, girl, and overwrite that for medical expertise and x-rays and the whole motherfucking nine, baby, God bless thee. God bless thee. As far as I'm concerned, there's no new evidence. This outlandish proposition by United the Felt People to have to go to the goddamn governor, girl, for a pardon based upon hearsay. Woo, guys, I just never thought the embarrassment of it all. But once again, he just got stabbed up like Freddie, baby. So, you know, he fighting for his life, girl. They got to do whatever they got to do to justify trying to get his ass out, girl. They got to slide this somewhere, somehow, girl. Now, the new narrative is that, girl, no, it wasn't glass. She was shot by the gun accidentally that fell to the ground and popped off 2 rounds that happened to clip her in her feet, girl. So now they can't get the story straight on the fact that it was glass, but now it's apparently actually bullet fragments. However, nobody in fact shot her. The gun shot her independent of a damn shooter. I gotta go. Uda is ready to get into day 3, y'all. So we about to run that bike. Okay? So I'll be seeing y'all, girl, in 10, 15 motherfucking minutes. I'm gonna set up this next live stream, girl. I am literally, girl, I have live streamed out today. The notifications, girl, are gonna be toe up, girl. So y'all got to get in here. Y'all got to thumb up all the content. That's our only saving grace. As soon as y'all get into the day 3 testimony, girl, y'all just need to go ahead and just run me the likes. Run me all the likes, child. If you enjoyed yourself, $ Consciouztv on Cash App and or paypal.me/Consciouztv. Email me all the tea. Tell me what the hell you think about this groundbreaking, revolutionary, new evidence, okay, by the United Felt People, child, against Megan. Tell me all about it in the comment section. I'll see you guys in 5.